Hi everybody, this is Thomas and I'm back with another game development video for you here on October 6th or 7th or something like that. I've done some stuff since last time, but a lot of it's been under the hood, and therefore it's been a little while since the last video because a lot of it isn't as flashy and as exciting since I've been cleaning up some old code. But I did have some new features I'm going to show you. First though, I want to tell you about a blog I started. It's at newretrogames.com, all one word. That's newretrogames.com. And so far I've written an article about programming and doing debugging and things like that, and how to set up your project to avoid creating a lot of bugs. And then I wrote an article about how I got started with game design and development and how you can do it too. So if those things interest you, or you want to see whatever I will talk about in the future, the blog at newretrogames.com is going to be my main source for information related to my project. I will still come out with YouTube videos though once in a while when I have something new to show. And as always, I update every day on Twitter with all the nonsense that I'm doing in my life and the development that's going on for my game. So, what did I do since the last video? Well, I did some different stuff. Let me click and give this window focus here and I'll show you. So this is all some original art that my artist has sort of fooled around with. She made a bunch of tiles that we didn't really care for, and then we created some stuff that sort of fits the theme of one of the levels that I wanted to work on. So we got those things and I made this basic map here. The first thing I want to talk about is I've created a 4-layer system. This is actually a lot easier than having background and foreground. For example, right here I've got this pillar thing that my player sprite is in front of, right? It's also got background tiles that are near it. So if I go into edit mode, I can actually take all of these things and move them one at a time. The way that I have this so that it's sort of transparent, you can see through and have multiple layers to the background, is if I hit the 7 and 8 keys on the numpad, I actually can change the active layer of what's currently set for tiles. So I put all this green stuff in the rear background, then I activate the front background, and I can grab one of these columns or whatever else out of the toolbar, and then it actually overlays the other background layer. So if I hit 8, I can then apply this tile to the rear background and this to the front background. And in getting rid of them, that's another new feature I can show you, is mass deletion. I hold down delete and everything under the cursor just disappears. Pretty neat, huh? Then I can then go and use those layers to pop some more stuff in there. And I can also do the same thing with the foreground, which I'm calling the collision layer. So if I want to have some things I can collide with that are in front of others, like if I'll put this on the rear collision layer, and then I could put this one on the front collision layer so that it overlays it. That way I'll be able to just have be able to set up some depth, and it makes it much easier for editing because drawing and input handling both check from the front layer, which is the front collision layer, and on back all the way through the rear collision layer. So hopefully that makes some sense. It made things a lot easier for me to do it that way. I also improved my tile duplication tool. For example, say I have this whole black area here and I want to fill it in with these green tiles. Well, I would have had to click Shift and drag out, and that's sort of impractical in the long run. So what I did is I just created a mass duplication tool, hit your origin tile, or put the cursor over it, hit D on the keyboard, and it says dupe mode initiated, and then you can just spray away. And you notice that this puts it all nice in tiling order, and it doesn't actually put things and line them up funny. They're all lined up just right, and it doesn't overlay multiples on top of anything either. So if it grabs the layer that this tile's at. In this case it's the rear background layer. So then I hit D and it automatically takes that layer, so all of these guys are coming in on the rear background layer. So it automatically lines everything up with its origin tile, and it only creates one on that layer, so it won't create extra tiles and put a million of them there, which is really nice. The other thing I'm currently working on, which I think will pretty much round out this editor and let me start creating some actual levels when I'm not falling through the floor, is Well, I must have something. Oh, I put them all on the collision layer, so I'm all getting stuck there. Anyway, I created a map zone editor. So if I hit Z, you can actually see the camera then doesn't stick to the map zone. So it goes and it unlocks the camera from the map zones, whereas see this edge of the red line is the edge of the map zone the player's currently in. So if I hit Z and I go back to the regular game mode, you can see that it's lining up. So the right where the right hand side of the sprite is, right? If I hit Z, that's the edge of the zone, and the camera's not limited to that area right now, which is pretty handy. I'm going to need to add multiple map zones to get a back and forth shifting effect like in the old Mega Man games or in the original Zelda overworld screen when the screen scrolled over. So I need to be able to do this a little more easily than going into my map file and adding lines like this for the map zone. I need to be able to do that through the editor and be pretty modern with that. So that's what I created this excuse me, this feature for. Now I can change these map zones too. I don't just view them, I can also do cool stuff with them. So let's say I want to move the right side of this zone so that it goes over and incorporates these other tiles that I have here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click once, see how if I move onto the right side it actually turns white. Well, I'm going to click once. Let me bring my console over here so you can see. The current width is 1500, enter the new width. Let's try 1900. And there we go. See, and then the width was changed, and now my zone actually goes all the way over to this last funky tile out in the middle of nowhere. So if I hit Z and go out of map zone, and it now limits to the right side of the zone, and I really need to make that tile so that I don't fall through it. There we go. I'll switch the layer. Yep. So now this zone goes over and includes all of these tiles, and if I wanted to go back and move it so it's way back to the left, I can do that. Let's go back to this thingy here. Let's make the width 1500, and there we go. So now it's moved back to the left. So let's say I want to bring it all the way in to the edge of this map. Let's do it one more time, and let's try 1300. And there we go. So you can see that now I'm totally inside, and the map isn't going to, the camera won't scroll over anymore beyond these boundaries. I can also change the origin point, like the position of this. So right now it's at 200, 200 is its position. So let's make it 500, 500 just to be crazy. And now the camera's zone is way down here. So I can easily modify these things. Next, I need to add support for adding and removing map zones so that I can create more and create a level that will shift back and forth, and I can go from one screen to the next, and it'll be really cool. So that's the work in progress that I'm doing right now. I'm going to hit M to reload my actual map. So those are the new map features that I've done. Once I'm done with these, my hope is that I'll have a little bit more art ready, and then I can go and create a whole level and begin populating with bad guys and all of that stuff. So I hope that was reasonably exciting and informative for you. But like I said, if you want to keep up fully on what I'm doing and learn the most about it and find some more information that will be helpful to you, you can go to my blog at newretrogames.com and follow me on Twitter. And if there's something you want to hear more about in depth, just please feel free to leave a comment on my blog, and I'll write an entry about it for you, hopefully. And you can learn some more information. So until next time, I hope that if you're working on something like this, that you're learning and it's going along well for you too. So take care.